Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Fix. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Tuesday, November 20th. Jimmy the Bag, the birthday pick cashed again.
It did.
I had an 0-4 day in NBA, which we will get to. My NBA record. I did warn people about that before the beginning of the season. That not to tail me in NBA and to consider fading me. And but we'll talk about that. But the birthday picks, high or low tide, win, lose, or draw overall, are just unbelievable. Just rolling along. I've stopped tracking them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even counting anymore.
You should be counting.
I know, I should be counting. The one thing I should be paying attention to, it's unbelievable. College basketball is chugging along. We don't have that much going on today. Jimmy the Bag, variance has started to swing in your way in NHL as we thought that it might. You're coming off a winning day in NHL, right, Jim?
Not just a winning day, a big winning day.
Right,
Cal,
right.
goddamn surprise!
Yeah.
Cal surprise!
So
LA Kings plus 375. I bet it at plus 390.
Very nice.
That was a $780 empty netter for me. God damn, it feels good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that record. But it is a low bagger's birthday today. An important low bagger. Hey, why you frown? It just means you got to dig deep and get us another winner.
I know, and I'm just looking at today's card. There's just one NHL game.
Oh,
we got
easy.
4 NBA games. I don't care if there's 100 NBA games. That means, and then we got some college basketball, which I'm actually not doing that well. I mean, I'm not doing terrible in college basketball, but I've tweeted out a bunch of second half plays that haven't been doing well, so I'm actually down a bit in college basketball, which is okay, but it doesn't make me feel great. And so I knew that it was King Rail's birthday today. Is that who you're talking about?
That
Jim?
is who I'm talking about. Shout out, happy birthday to King Rail, beloved low bagger.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I guess if he doesn't formally request a birthday pick,
He requested it
he
yesterday,
did?
Pete.
Okay.
He requested it yesterday. Oh, Stelly 18 got plus 400 for LA there. Fuck yeah, man. Those are big boy hits, those puck lines. God damn, it feels good.
Yeah. Very nicely done, Jimmy the Bag. So let me see. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Lee Wagers, Oilers fire McLennan. Wow, that is very interesting.
Actually, Jimmy the Bag, do you mind just taking over the show right now, because there is a second half play up here at in college basketball. I might be able to take care of King Rail's birthday pick just right now with the Akron game. Would you mind taking over the show for a couple seconds, Jim?
I don't mind whatsoever.
All right, okay.
Wow, does that change? And Dionysus saying, can you give a big shout out to Lucrative Larry for that KHL puck line ace? I will, Dionysus. Shout out to Lucrative Larry, who talked flack. He was given flack. Sorry, he was given flack.
Yeah.
He took flack. Thank you. He was took flack when he made his KHL play. The first reply was, "What does Larry know about KHL? Enough to cash a -1.5 banger."
He showed him, huh?
He showed him, yeah, and it's good because he's been on a bit of a losing streak. So get Larry back to his winning ways. My goodness. Oh, and Nate Pereira, our man Nate Pereira says, Jimmy Pete, send out a shout out to my friend Rod, new low bagger.
Shout out to Rod. Shout out to Rod.
What up? Welcome to the fam. King Rail joining us. Thank you guys. And Pete, I would like a birthday pick, as you should, as you richly deserve.
Might be able to get this one out of the way right now. Maybe I should throw on Akron. I don't know. Go ahead, Jim.
No,
take
take your time. Take your time. I tell you what, Ron Lofton, great call, Pete and Jimmy on that NHL over. That Senators, Panthers over. My God, I should have added -1.5 Panthers. I took that off. That would have been a big casher. I should have added the under 2 in the Kings Blues game. It could have been an absolutely enormous night. Still a very profitable night. How about those Flames? I'm telling you right now, you know what? Let me pull something up for you. I'm telling you right now, if you go, and I'm going to do this today because I still haven't made my Sharks futures, and I'm going to get my Sharks futures in this show locked. But if you look at the Pacific Division in the NHL and look at the futures market, which I'm pulling up right now, but for some reason it is a little slow. If you take both the Sharks and the Flames, the Sharks were at plus 190, the Flames were at plus 2 something. I'm telling you, if you take them both, there's no other team that has a chance. And I know it's risky saying that, but there's no other team that has a chance of winning that division. So I think that is a goal play. Here it is coming up right now. Sabres team total over for Nick or Curry. Great call on the Sabres. I was very nervous watching the end of that Kings game because I had 2 dogs there. I had the Sabres and I had the Kings. I took them both on the puck lines. It worked out in my favor. But it was very nerve-wracking because they both were about to win by a goal, and that could have been a very profitable situation. But I went for the big score, and it almost cost me. I think overall it is going to work. Robbie Tagaloa hit an NHL parlay last night. Birthday pick under 6. That was just a gift. Rangers, Dallas. Buffalo moneyline and Washington moneyline. Ooh, Robbie Tagaloa, that is beautiful. And the Merrick says there's so much hockey this weekend. You're going to tweet plays? I assume the show's off for Thanksgiving. You know, we don't take holidays. We'll be off Saturday and Sunday. That's it. Saturday, Sunday. And sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we don't need as much of one. It all depends. It's all kind of circumstantial. We'll see how everything goes. Theodore McIntosh says the Flames were very impressive. Flames were impressive. Panthers were impressive. Flyers are going to be impressive. Those futures that I made are going to be magic, I think. I didn't make the same mistake that I make year after year, whereas using just a vividness bias or a recency bias of what happened last year and going with the same teams. Leaving the Penguins off my card made me feel very good. We're going to bring up the futures market here. Ann America says, Jimmy, I was sweating so hard on the Kings. I felt pretty good about it when I saw the Blues pull their goalie with about 1:30 left. That gives us enough time. I was very thankful. Gate Pass Key says, Jimmy, I told you last month McClellan had to go. I mentioned it last year, too. Maybe too late to get things going this year. Teddy Nolan. Wow. You think there could be another Teddy Nolan sighting? I'd find that quite surprising. I don't expect to see that at all. Let's go right now. To win the division right now in the Pacific, the Sharks are plus 180. The Flames are plus 200. I'm going to put $500 on both of those today. You telling me the Canucks or the Ducks or the Oilers or the Coyotes or the Knights or the Kings are going to take that division? No, it's either the Sharks or the Flames, nobody else. That's a gift to me. That's an absolute gift. I'm going to be jumping on that. I think we all should jump on that. We should all take the Sharks and the Flames to win the division. I would like to, when you're ready, I'd like to make that.
I'm just looking at this UTSA South Dakota State game. Tempting to take UTSA here plus 2. I don't know about this. Just let me think for a second.
Sure. Yes, Ron Lofton, we will be doing a show on Thursday. We take no holidays. Repeat, no holidays. We take Saturday and Sunday off. That's it. We are ready to roll. Mr. Gokster, good move, St. Louis firing Yeo. Yeah, so Mike Yeo fired. McClellan fired. It's the guys upstairs that should be fired. I don't blame McClellan. I blame the players that he's been given. What a disgrace. I can't believe that's the Boston Bruins.
I am going to make UTSA plus 2 minus 110 an official pick. I'll add that one on there. What the hell? That's a borderline play, but I'm going to make it UTSA plus 2 minus 110. I'll add that one onto my official record here in college basketball. What the hell? I'll do it.
Wally George saying, morning, guys. Any input on Western Carolina plus 10 at Jacksonville State? We do have our man Maxwell Smart here. Oh, and Maxwell Smart says, Peter, I'm on South Dakota State minus 6.
Fuck. All right. Well, at plus 2, that would put me on them at plus 10. So, we could get a middle there. Yeah.
Kate Paskey said I was chatting with Paul McLean. Yeah, I read that yesterday. Sorry I didn't read that out loud. I'm a Paul McLean fan. I've always liked him a lot. Lives in your hometown. Grew up with him. Oh, nice. You grew up with him, Kate Paskey? Maybe he goes to the Oilers. He's a great coach. And Pink-Eyed Genie. Not only does he spread pink eye awareness, but he's telling you, don't take UTSA plus 2, Pete.
Really? On the second half?
Teachers agreeing.
Okay.
Barry Cohen liking Jacksonville State minus 10. We've got a lot of work to do. Nutflush on says, if you guys do a show on Thanksgiving, we will wait for the show to start, have Pete say grace, and then eat dinner while the show is on. That's a lot. What a guy.
Shit.
What a great guy.
All right. Well, I guess I can't take it back now. I bet it and I gave it, so I guess I can't. That might have been a mistake. You guys might be right. I might be a little hasty. That was obviously not the birthday pick, though. That was just the last second play that I decided to give an opinion on. All right, so Jimmy the Bag. All right, so where are we right now?
Just before we get into NHL, I guess we are in the NHL. And America says, I'm with you, but I want to know the price on the Coyotes. It's plus 900. You're getting 9-1. Mr. Gokster says, so true. It's Chicago, Jimmy. Front office should be ashamed. The Oilers front office should be ashamed. The Oilers and the Oilers front office should be ashamed. The Blackhawks front office should be ashamed. To start out, I took a lot of heat. Starting off terribly in the NHL, down double-digit units. Took a lot of heat on social media on this show. Took a lot of heat. Had Vitalis writing SMH after my plays. Notice he's not around when I'm in my glory days. Only comes around when I'm losing. Rafa, can we please hit that NHL record and show the climb? I'm going to go for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There it is right there.
There you go. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, listen, when, the volatility never ends. Even when you're up, volatility could continue going back the other way for you. But that's what you do when you're taking those huge puck lines, Jimmy the Bag. I love to listen to your analysis of NHL, win, lose, or draw. And congratulations. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. I mean, it's not enough yet but we know how we watch my baseball season. You know how horrible it is when you're losing. It's very hard to come into work and do a show. People don't want to listen to you, or they want to listen to you just to fade you. It's just so difficult. So I'm very thankful that I don't need to hang my head in shame.
And then Mark Schillen says, "How about that Tyreek play call last night?
Oh,
Was that Bill Butler's play?
Bill Butler's play hit easy, over 200 yards and 2 TDs, I believe.
Yeah.
Bill Butler killing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill Butler been nailing football props in our comment section going back since I can remember. So whenever we're covering a Monday or Thursday night NFL game, and Bill Butler comes in with his prop plays, definitely. Strongly consider tailing them. I've been doing that. That's helped my record. And I can't even remember the last time Bill Butler had a loser here.
The guy's a monster.
Yes.
He's a monster, and he puts so much energy into our show. So enormous amounts of love for our man Bill Butler, just handing out money. It feels like the chat just continues to hand out money. We go from Ragu to Bill Butler. They're just giving it to us. That Bill Butler spot was a +2 something.
Which makes sense because one person can't do this all alone, but an army of people can. Here you go. Sophia Gutierrez says, hello, everyone. Remember to check out UWager's awesome Super Bowl special contest and win. And yes, of course, that contest that she's referring to is UWager is having a promotion where where you can be entered for it to win 2 free tickets to the Super Bowl, including airfare, including room and board, and a per diem and everything. And all you have to do to be eligible is make a $100 deposit, whether you have a new account, an old account, and you just have to use this link that we've got here in the comment section in the chat. Deposit $100 at UWager. You don't have to lose $100. You just have to deposit $100. You can turn that into $500, withdraw it, and you will still be eligible. And you'll be eligible, of course, to win. That's a pretty positive EV thing, I think, right? Because that's a big package. How much did they say?
$10,000.
Yeah. All right. Very nicely done. And thank you, UWager. All right. What else do we have here, Jim?
Well, let's get into the capping. We've got a lot of work to do. We've already got NHL on the board, and I'm ready to get rolling. Okay. But I do have a little fear with the coaching change.
Okay, yes, and Moshe Bograt asks, what's the difference between in regulation and three-way in NHL? Regulation means that if it's a tie after regulation, you can bet on a draw like in soccer, and if it's a tie after regulation, you lose your bet, win or lose, and so that's what three-way, and then wait, hold on a second. What's he saying? Wait. I have to find the comment here. What's the difference between a three-way and in regulation? Nothing. They're the same, right? Like if you're betting on a team to win in regulation and betting on the three-way, it's the same thing. And most of the ways that Jim and I make our picks and bets in NHL are with OT included. But you can certainly bet it the way they bet soccer, which is three-way. And bet on the draw.
I never do with a favorite. With a favorite, I will never take the money line almost straight across the board. But with a dog, I do think about it. And I sure thought about it last night when it looked like the Kings were only going to win 1-0 and the Sabres were going to win in overtime. I thought, man, am I making a mistake here? But I've gone over my numbers. I'm still slightly up. And I think it'll work out 50-50 even in the end of it.
Okay, very nice. And so once again, I guess, and then just a final word on the NFL game from yesterday, and then that's it. The over was, easiest money of the year.
In that
low-hanging
game?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we missed it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. In the NFL game.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I don't know. To hear so many people, I had so many people on Twitter saying, Jimmy, take the under. Please take the under. Like so many people. And I didn't do that. But it was strange how many people were like, listen, the public is going to get destroyed here. Take the under. So I'm happy. I don't feel bad about staying off of it.
Yeah. A lot of people, everyone knows how that works nowadays. You know what I mean? You see a huge over and you think, oh, the public is going to be all over it. They're going to get destroyed, this and that. But in the NFL, especially the past few years, there's been a lot of so-called pseudo, quote unquote, sharp plays that, when the sharps were on the Browns every game, game in and game out a couple years ago, and they were losing game in and game out. The things have really been changing pretty rapidly in the sports betting markets, and especially in the big markets, a lot of those public plays do wind up being, so-called public plays, do wind up actually being positive EV, and people automatically fading them are being a little hasty. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Sonny Vega joining us. The man says three ways and menage a trois, and it's more fun, Pete.
Very nice.
And Sonny Bill Butler said, you should have listened to me, Jimmy. Listen, Bill, I listen to you every single time. I absolutely love what you're doing. The problem is I haven't been acting on it, and I didn't act at all on that game at all, and that's been a mistake. But listening to Bill, you are an absolute enormous asset to our show, to our family. I have so much love for you. And Bill, can you please put your Twitter on the link here or on the chat? A couple of people were asking what your Twitter is. I follow Bill Butler, and you're right. I need to start running with it, absolutely. Okay, let's get to work on this Sharks. I thought Sharks minus 1.5 was a simple play. A very simple play. Now with the coaching change, oh, wow. Eddie Oiler said, should have hired Quenneville. Not Hitchcock. Okay, sorry. I thought they hired Quenneville. I'm a big I'm a big Q fan. Wow. Okay, let's break this down a little more here. Martin Jones versus Cam Talbot, as we expect. Now, that can change. But right now, we think it's Talbot. He's just playing terribly. Lost 5 straight starts overall, 4.63 goals against average, 845 save percentage on those games. Gave up, and this is right out of the now fired Todd McClellan, says he gave up 6 tonight. Anytime a goaltender gives up 6, I'm sure the group is looking for another save. Cam's still an important part of the team. As we go forward, we'll make goaltender decisions. So expect Koskinen in that, even though it says here that it's Talbot. So I'd love to hear if you guys know
Talbot
more.
or see, I'm seeing Koskinen but unconfirmed. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We need to figure out exactly what's going on here. I don't know who's going to be in goal. It makes sense to go back with Koskinen. McDavid and Draisaitl are playing well, but their defense looks bad. Their forwards are not back-checking, not being accountable. They've allowed 15 goals, losing 3 straight to the Sharks. Aaron Dell makes 30 saves. Pavelski stayed red hot. I said that on the show. I don't know if you guys remember, but I said Pavelski has 0 assists this year. As soon as he starts rolling, the Sharks team's going to go off. I also said that about the power play, but Pavelski is so important to this team because they have a ton of depth, but they do need him rolling. He was just named the 3rd star of the week, 5 goals and assists in 3 games. Martin Jones has a great record in his past 11, but just an .899 save percentage. He is succeeding off of the great play by his team. Hurdle expects to return from his lower body injury. Yeah, Zolo Age says, I see Talbot. That's what I saw this morning. I'm telling you, I would jump on the Sharks, but I have a little bit of hesitation with this coaching change. And Shaquille Bell says, Edmonton moneyline plus 165 is the play. Ian Blackwell, late to the show. It's halftime, South Dakota State, UTSA, live play, South Dakota State minus 9.5.
Yeah, all right. I probably was on the wrong side of that one. Okay. I mean, South Dakota State is obviously the better team. I just looked at a few numbers and thought that UTSA might be the play. All right, I might be starting the day off with a loser in college in NHL, Jim.
Paco Healy, I can't believe I ate the fucking blue pill in life. Loved my family dearly until I finally found MGTOW.
Okay, Paco Healy, you learn it. Now you're learning. No, like everything, it's not for everyone. Yoga, will it change your life? For some people, I guess, sure. For others, no. So it's like that. So MGTOW is similar to yoga in that it it helps. It transforms some people's lives. Other people just think it's a stupid waste of time. Right, Jim?
I wouldn't call it a stupid waste of time. I have other feelings about MGTOW, but I wish you guys the best on whatever brings you happiness.
Okay.
I think the Sharks minus 1.5 is the play. I also think that I will get a better line because generally speaking, when there's coaching change, the team steps up. And don't you think late money will come here on the Oilers and I'll get a better line?
I don't know about that at all. Why?
No.
Because people are so hip to the coaching change factor that they're going to bet Edmonton here?
Yes.
No, I don't think that's going to be. You might be right. But I don't think that's going to be. If anything, it might be just sharp money will come in because the line was too high to begin with. Here, let me tell you what I think about where this line is going to move. Hold on one second. I'll tell you where I think this is going to. What are we looking at right now? We're looking at God.
I was offered a minus 1.5, I believe, at plus 155.
Yeah, so we got Edmonton in the plus 160s here, and Edmonton in the plus
145.
Yeah, I do think money's going to come in on Edmonton, but not because of the coaching change, just because the line is too big, and I think sharp money's going to come in on Edmonton. Yeah.
I vehemently disagree with you. It will simply be because of the coaching change, not because the Sharks are too big favorites. Oilers are playing bad hockey. The Sharks are playing spectacular hockey.
Okay.
I think the coaching change will bring money on the Oilers, and I'm going to put that to work. I'm going to not make the minus 1.5 a plus 145 a play. I think I will get a better line on the late show, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. No, I agree. We're just agreeing. I mean, I'm just not sure if that factor is something that will drive that many people to pound Edmonton.
Wow, Van City Chris, and this is an interesting point because I tend to agree with him. I don't think it's the coaching. I think it's the team he's been given and the terrible trades, especially the Taylor Hall trade. Van City Chris says a coaching change can be deflating, boys, not always a fire-up tactic, especially when the firing is unjustified. Mark Stone says, I'm off the NHL game. If anything, I take a shot on Edmonton plus 142. This Sharks team is playing good hockey. Carlson's starting to roll. Pavelski's starting to roll. They could roll all the way to the Stanley Cup this year.
And what about the over? That would just be my first general vague thought.
I don't think the Oilers are going to get many opportunities to score, and maybe they don't need many because McDavid is so talented. Maybe he just needs a couple opportunities to snipe.
Why don't you think they're going to get that many opportunities to score?
Because the Sharks are a lockdown defensive team. That's the new Sharks team. I know they're, 14th in goals allowed right now? Watch that drop. I bet you by the end of the year, they're top 5 in goals allowed. even with this average goaltending, below average goaltending.
Interesting. See, I would be thinking over and first period over, but I guess we'll wait until the evening show to make an official play on that one.
I think I'm going to get a better line. Even if it's just marginally, I think I'm going to get a better line. This coaching change, I personally would hammer all coaching changes. This will be the first time I haven't in a while. Farshad Asami, Sharks puck line and over. King Rail jumping on first half, Jacksonville State -5. Or he's asking questions whether that should be the play. We don't have too much to talk about in NHL, but I do, Pete, want to add this future.
Okay.
I would like to add to win the division. I would like to add both. Sorry, let me get to it. The Flames and the Sharks.
Okay.
I'm getting +180, worse than I was getting yesterday on the Sharks, +180.
Okay. So San Jose to win the division at +180.
And the Flames to win the division at +200.
And the Flames to win the division +200. Okay. Those will both go on your official record here, Jim.
And then I would like to take the Sharks to win the conference.
Okay.
At +550.
Sharks to win the conference at +550. Okay. And anything else?
No.
Okay.
Gate Pass Key says, Jimmy, Pete just doesn't understand, the intermaking of a team. Sorry, I wouldn't have said it if I was just reading it. Everyone knows no one is safe and want to stay with McDavid and will play hard. I think Pete understands that. He just doesn't think that will be the change in this betting situation. We all feel that way. Don't you feel that way when a new coach comes in, that people are worried about their jobs?
Oh yeah, well I mean in the NBA, in all sports, it's a big, and even in baseball you do see it. It's a factor that is definitely something to be considered. I'm just not sure that it's enough to move a market line in that way yet. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not a legitimate factor. I'm saying it's a legitimate factor enough to move the market is what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. And Brian Watson says Oilers hire Hitchcock. Thanks. But that's not a fact, right? We don't know that they've hired Hitch. That's just what we think is going to happen. I guess Hitch is probably the right guy for this team because there's not enough skill around McDavid. And I've just been so disappointed with Nuge. He's just not tough enough on the puck. Okay, I say we roll into NBA.
Yeah, people are quickly just asking about the Jacksonville State game. Sure. The line looked suspiciously high to me, but I'm not having a great start to college basketball this year, so I am staying off of that. And I'm staying off of that, and I have no opinion on the side there. It did look at 11. It looked a little bit high to me, but I didn't have time to look into it in depth, and so I have.
We have Maxwell Smart with us. 7 minutes till Jacksonville State game. Max, can you give us somewhat of a feel on this game? I don't know how hard you've hammered it, but knowing Max, I'm sure he's hammered it excellently.
Yeah.
He just hammers every single game. It's just
That's what he does.
That's what he does.
That's what he does, man. So great to have him as part of our comment section. All right, so let's move on to NBA, huh, Jim?
Let's move on to NBA.
All right. So first, of course, we have Toronto and Orlando, right? Let's talk about that one. Orlando is rolling ATS.
Huge.
And now they're a home dog against Toronto. Is that likely to continue here? Toronto, obviously, an impressive team, but I'm thinking that the Orlando undervalued train maybe continues here. Orlando +6. Is that worth a shot?
That was my initial feel, but I don't know if I'm able to pull the trigger on it. Let's break it down. Also, great to have Dan Kelly here joining us. As I gave out 7 NBA picks on low bag yesterday, went 5-2, but one of the winners was Phoenix first half money line at +310, and hit that Denver Milwaukee total was moving for a reason. Let's talk a little bit about some of the moves yesterday. Remember,
I'd just like to personally give a 2-second shout out of individual thanks to Dan Kelly for coming into the comment section, sharing his knowledge with us, sharing his plays with us. Dan Kelly, from me to you, thank you so much.
And King Rail on Raptors first half and full game. We saw that giant move to the under in Spurs Pelicans.
And wow, and Maxwell Smart's on Jacksonville State, as is Robbie Tagaloa. So the line is high for a reason. There you go.
Wow, very exciting.
And now we're going to give a huge personal shout out to Maxwell Smart for being part of the comment section every day and giving us invaluable thoughts, insights, opinions, and picks on college basketball. From me to you, Maxwell Smart. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
I really mean that so sincerely.
I know you do.
I don't know how to communicate it.
They are extremely important to our show. Our show does not survive without these guys.
And Bill Butlicker for giving the NFL prop plays. God, we got such a great team here.
An incredible team.
Yes.
Incredible team. I expect glory. Also,
Wally George is on Jacksonville State -9. Wow, okay. Wow, look at that.
Let's talk about these market moves. Giant market move to the under yesterday in Spurs Pelicans, and they put up 260 points.
Yeah.
Giant market move.
Was there a giant market move to
It
the
was
under?
a huge
Here, let
market
me see.
move. And it came back a point, I guess, late. But there was a 4-point move.
Was it
in
during the
morning.
show or after the show?
There was a huge move in the morning.
Right,
And then
right.
it sort of U-shaped during the day. It was, but it was a huge move. And then it doesn't matter. So that's important. Okay, so David Stewart says, careful, Magic are rolling at home. Let's break this down. Magic won 3 straight, 7 of 9. Including in those games is a comeback win over Philadelphia in Butler's debut, double-digit win over Braun, and a road win over the Spurs. They're coming off back-to-back 131-117 wins. First time in the history of the franchise that they have consecutive 130-point wins. Vucevic is a beast right now, 30 and 36 against Philly and LA respectively, and then 28 against Orlando. Aaron Gordon starting to hit his shots. Remember, we talked about how bad they were shooting. 43.6% from 3, 55% from the field, averaging 20.3 in the last 8 games. Overall, Orlando averaging 114.2 while shooting 49.6 in this 9-game surge.
I just want to say, I'm not seeing a huge move. It opened at 225 and closed at 222.
Yes, but it was 221 in the morning show. That's not a huge move to you, 4 points?
In today's NBA, I mean, it's a significant move, but it's not a huge move.
To me, that's a huge move.
All right,
It was a huge move. It was by far bigger than any move that we saw in NBA all day.
Okay.
It was a 4-point move from the time I started working at 5 in the morning to the time I got you. I guess not quite. Not quite, because it was moving as soon as it popped off. But to me, that's a huge move. Am I wrong? So if a morning move before we get in morning show 4 points, I shouldn't think is a huge move?
I mean, the market better than me. Dallas-Memphis had a bigger move from 207.5 to 200. A 7.5-point move on a smaller total.
I'm talking about to the morning show.
Oh, okay.
Should I not be totally like, Jesus Christ, that's a big move? Should I not be? Because maybe I'm doing this wrong.
It's a significant move. It's not like an out of. I mean, I would expect to see at least on a game with 9 on a card with 9 games. I would expect to see at least 2 or 3. About 2. I would expect to see 2 or 3 games with that degree of a move on any given 9-game card.
That is good to know. I guess
Yeah,
I guess I'm definitely overemphasizing 4-point moves in the morning. Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah.
During the slow start, Orlando averaged 99.8 points, shot 41.4%. Now they're shooting really well. Toronto's lost 3 of 4 since that 12-1 start. They're coming off a beatdown of the Bulls, but they're the Bulls. Raptors on the first half of a doubleheader. How many minutes are they going to give certain players, especially Kawhi? Kawhi was rested against the Bulls after playing 43 minutes on Friday. In 3 games after he immediately sits out, Leonard's averaging 26 points. Lowry exited last Saturday's game with a tweaked ankle, but he's fine. He didn't practice on Monday, but he says he's good to go. Raptors will be getting Anunoby back. They'll be getting Miles back. This is a tough spot. Let's see what people are saying here. Barcelona Raptors 4-1 against spread last 5 road games.
King Rail not concerned. He likes Toronto.
Eddie Euler leaning Raptors with rested Leonard. Eddie Euler, Toronto 11-6 to the over. Orlando 7-10 to the under. Bill Butler saying, bless your heart, Pete.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's so much shit going on in life. Positive, negative, on-screen, off-screen, all this crap. Bill Butler, I could never forget about you. I mean, no, seriously. Bill Butler, just with the name. I mean, you locked yourself into my brain. But for other reasons, I could never forget about you, Bill Butler. All right, let's see. What else we have? David Stewart likes the first half over 112. Yeah, I was thinking about the over as well. Not necessarily on the first half, but on the full game. I mean, Orlando's been putting up 130. Is that going to stop here?
Houdini liking Raptors -7. Both teams have been rolling first halves. I'm uncomfortable with this spot.
Yeah?
As I've been with almost all Raptors games right now.
All right, should we move on? No play for you, Jim?
Not right now, no play. Maxwell Smart saying after Bradley blew that UIC game, I think they rebound. San Diego has that shutdown defense and a difference maker. They're a fun team to bet on and bet unders. A couple of notes there. I was thinking of going back to the well with Bradley as well. Max, happy to hear you thinking that. Let's keep rolling. Okay. I thought that the Clippers were the play even on the second half of a back-to-back tonight. But I watched King's Court last night. Jay Money said, take that money with the Wizards. I feel it's so difficult for me to take these Wizards with all the horrifying shit that's going on. The Washington Post reported an on-court confrontation between John Wall and Jeff Green and Bradley Beal and Austin Rivers at Thursday's practice. After those incidents, Wall swore at Scott Brooks and Beal erupted about general manager Ernie Grunfeld. That makes it so difficult. Oh, Kobe Valentine back. Nice to have Kobe Valentine back. And we've been giving prayers and thoughts to your father, Kobe. Thank you for returning to us. Kobe Valentine saying, I'm on Bradley also. Nice to hear that. Eddie Orler going back to that Toronto spot says Toronto beats Bulls by 39 without Leonard. And Farshad Asami says, Magic play real good at home. Hard to go against them at home. Max says, I was on Gonzaga last night. So was I. And we lost 2 units. I'm off to not a very good start in NBA in NCAA basketball. It's very concerning, very scary. David Stewart says Magic scored 70 points last game first half. Young OG says Jay Money from Kings Court should come through the chat. He does often. We are lucky enough to have him join us often, and we are very thankful when we do. Sorry.
No, I was thinking maybe under in the Clippers-Washington game. You don't like the under here? I know that the Clippers have been explosive offensively, and I took the Clippers team total under yesterday, which is a loser. So obviously,
Jesus.
I'm just what happened?
Miss J says Tyler Johnson is out hamstring. Wow, because we know that Dragic is probably going to be out with a knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
Holy, thank you for letting us know. Miss J saying Kyle Lowry's a game time decision. Everything that I read was saying that Kyle Lowry was going to be fine. Wow. Okay, so clearly we need to wait and see what's going on with Lowry, Or if you're taking the Magic, I guess you take the risk that Lowry might not play and take them now.
Right.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Dan Kelly saying that everyone on the Wizards are about to get traded. Dan Kelly says he took Toronto first half money line last night and the Clips first half team total under 59.5 today. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about an under again, but I took the Clippers team total under yesterday and I got burned. Dan Kelly liking the first half team total under 59.5 today. And King Rail says Beal and Wall both on the trade block. They want both of gone and ASAP.
That's what we need to talk about. I'm very interested in this Duke spot, Max, because obviously we did well with Auburn last year, and I thank you for mentioning that. I look forward to talking about that in the NCAA basketball segment. That's the question. That's why I was very interested to see that Jay Money was saying, take the Wizards, you'll get your money. Mm-hmm. How do you back a team that's so awful right now? Montrezl Harrell is a beast right now. 25 points, 11 boards. Lou Will puts up 11 assists. I've never seen him put up assists like that ever. I'm sure he's done it before, but I just never remember him playing like that. Clippers come back from 15 points down, get on the road, get their 7th win in 8 games. Tobias Harris killing it. Mike Scott, understanding what he's got to do, just stand still on the perimeter, hits 6 3-pointers for 18 points. The Clippers do that without Gallinari. Avery Bradley returns. Mbah a Moute still out with a knee injury. You know who's having the time of his life is Doc. Doc loves coaching this team.
Yeah.
And talking to his son about what's going on with Washington, he keeps making this point about how much he enjoys coaching his team. Wow.
Luis Fernando Esquinza says the Clippers game sketchy as fuck.
It is. Because how do you have faith in what the Wizards are going to provide? So it goes both ways. How do you have faith in fading them, and how do you have faith in backing them?
Right. So shall we move on?
Yes, and Dwight Howard limited to 7 minutes because of gluteal soreness.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. Am I going to say that that's never happened to me? No, I'm not going to try to bullshit you on that one. I could, but I'm not going to try.
German Chavez saying, what are your thoughts on Georgia Clemson today? We're going to cap that. That game, we have at least an hour before that tips off.
Which one?
Georgia Clemson.
In college hoops.
Yeah.
Yes,
we will be hammering that. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that.
Although I wasn't able to look at any of the games that didn't have overnight lines, which that one didn't, but I will give my thoughts on it today for sure.
Yeah, we got Max here. I've looked at it. Yeah. We'll do a good job on it. Gas Station Sushi said, what is Pete's birthday pick? Good question, Gas Station Sushi. We all want to know because it's been cashing, but it's a big one today because it's King Rail's birthday.
Do I have to give it in the morning show, or can it be in the evening show?
It can be in the evening show.
All right, okay.
It can be in the evening show.
Okay.
Nets at Heat. I have the Nets asterisk question mark. Now that I know that Tyler Johnson's out of the lineup, I think I should just take the Nets now. But I remember the last time the Heat were in this situation, they moved Ellington to the 1, and he looked great. I'm looking at you guys, Dan, King, you basketball NBA cappers. Do you think that's simply what the Heat are going to do, and Ellington's going to show that he can play the 1? Nets have lost 4 of their past 5 games. Remember, they lost against the Heat last Wednesday. I was on the Nets. King said, don't do it because there was no Jared Allen. Jared Allen's back this time around. Miami's 113-97 loss to the Lakers was their 4th straight home loss. The Nets have a better road record than Miami does at home. Goran Dragic missed Sunday's loss, he's been battling injuries all year. Knee injuries, missed 2 games, played 4, then sat out against the Lakers. Spolster says he's sore, a little bit swollen. His knee hasn't responded the way he'd hoped. Expect an extended absence. And then I have here, and to see a lot more of Tyler Johnson. Thank you, Miss J, for letting us know that Tyler Johnson's got a hamstring issue. I had no idea. Dwayne Wade's missed 7 straight games. He could return tonight, extended paternity leave. Now they're going to get tested. This team has the Nets have a lot of run at the one. They have D'Angelo Russell, 17.2, 5.5 assists. They got Dinwiddie. I believe he's got averages about 14 points a game. And Shabazz Napier, he can run. He get James Johnson back as well. He didn't look very good last night after hernia surgery.
Yeah, I was thinking Nets.
King Rail says Nets.
Yeah. My birthday pick for King Rail couldn't be just that he should just take his best bet and just double it. No, I can't do that.
Don't worry, take your time.
All right, okay,
take your time.
okay.
Don't worry.
Right,
don't
okay.
worry. This is your birthday picks are very special and shouldn't be rushed.
Yeah.
I think that. Oh, and PRC publicist Clippers versus Washington over. R2D2 Finland says Nets here. Cap'n 24/7 says Nets and under. Farsha Asami, no Dragic. Nets plus 3.5. Wade is active. That's good. And Brent Hunt saying he looked terrible. If Wade's active, he slows the pace down. That old man hasn't played in 7 games. I bet you he plays 12 minutes.
Everyone's liking the Nets here. Look at this. Barry Cohen. Brant Hunt says Heat looks terrible. Cap'n 24/7, Nets and under. R2D2 Finland, Nets here. King Rail, Nets. Everyone liking the Nets here.
What do we think about Ellington moving to the 1? Can anybody give me some insight on that? Because we saw it work.
Mitch Bukowski says, "Hey, it's my birthday too. Shout out to you, Mitch Bukowski."
Oh, it's Mitch's birthday too.
Maybe this is an astrological day where people born on this day just kill NBA.
Yes.
What else do we have here, Jim? Do you want to take the Nets?
I do. What's been the movement in the line?
David Stewart says he likes the over in the Nets game. Let me just check what the line movement has been here. Hold on one second. In the Nets game. Hold on one second.
Thank you. A lot of people liking the over.
Yeah, actually, not much of a move, but a teeny move in favor of Miami.
Nick Curry, Nets big. It shouldn't concern me that everyone likes the Nets here, but that happened last night with the Zags, and that blew up in my face. Twat Waffle joining us, liking Nets money line. I think the Nets are to play here with all the injuries, so I don't see how they couldn't be. I really don't. Miss J, Nets. Brant Hunt, it's not that I'm trying to pound the Nets, Pete. I just wouldn't touch the Heat with your money.
Right.
See, I would carry, if I was with your money, I would carry even more.
I hear. The Nets are just a, the Heat are just a team that people want to just fade and stay off of in all ways, shape, and form right now, right?
They are. David Stewart, Heat fall apart in 4th. Remember that, Jimmy? I remember. I'm sorry, David Stewart. That's so funny. It's so funny when all these little comments, you can just go right back to the game of the breakdown, you know? Didn't the Heat beat the Nets the other day, Nando Suevas? Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they
that
won
was their
easily.
one good game.
But King said, I was on the Nets, and that was the first game after Levert's injury, and King said, don't do it, Jimmy. Don't do it without Jared Allen. Jared Allen's back.
That's got to be the play here. And
King Rail says Ellington at the 1 speeds the pace, but if he plays with Wade, Wade will bring the ball up and slow the tempo. You're absolutely right, he will. I'm going to stay off this total at this point, but I like the under. What's been moving in the total?
And what about the Miami team total under? The total on this one, not much of a move. It opened at 215.5 down to 215, so not much of a move. What about the Miami team total under?
That seems like a play that makes a lot of sense.
All right, I'll make that one an official play right now. I'm going to take the Miami Heat team total under. I'm just going to check Pinnacle and Heritage to see what the best line would be on that one, and I will take it. Miami Heat team total under. Again, if I'm a mush in NBA, so be it. If you want to.
I don't believe in that stuff.
Okay.
I think I'm going to jump on that play with you as well. But first, give me the Nets.
You want the Nets here?
Yeah.
All right, so we can give you 3.5 minus 110. So Jim's going to take the Nets plus 3.5. Nets plus 3.5 minus 110. Nets plus 3.5 minus 110. I'm going to take a shot with the Miami team total under. Ignore or fade if you would like out there watching the show. Low baggers. I'm going to take Miami team total under 109 minus 109. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Quickly going to check.
Dan Kelly just jumped on the Brooklyn Miami 4th quarter over. How would that change your feeling on the Heat? Not really.
No, it would make me think that that makes me a little bit nervous, obviously. Any overplay would go against any underplay at least a little bit.
But don't you think that the Heat without proper distribution aren't going to be able to get buckets? They're not going to be in the right spots.
One would think. But Dan Kelly, I'm certainly not going to
I
I'm
like
not going
your
to go
spot.
against him unless.
I like your Heat team total under. Okay, can you take over for a second? I just need to get double checks on this lineup for the Heat.
Young OG23 says it won't be fast scoring. Daryl Lyles, I'm on the Nets with the points. It also seems like, wow, Dan Kelly, I just got on the Brooklyn-Miami fourth quarter over. Peace Max One Skag says, finally listening live. Love you guys always watching the videos. Peace Max One Skag. Shout out to you.
Peace Max, man.
And here, Big Dave says, Pete, can you give a shout out to my friend JC Zimmerman, new listener to the show. He's listening now.
Nice.
JC Zimmerman, I'm shouting you out right now. Thank you very much for being a new listener to the Low Bag Show. There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in this show. All of it interesting, some of it good, some of it positive. The birthday picks kill. I don't know how. I don't know. I think it's just because when you put me down to it, when the pressure, like a diamond, when you put that much pressure on me, I'm going to come up with something good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. So JC Zimmerman, the birthday picks in this show. We give out a birthday pick. I'm under the gun once again to give a birthday pick to King Rail. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Every day the day starts out, and if a birthday pick, if a request comes my way, I'm always like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it again. But you know what I do? I figure it out. I find a way. Yes. And I'm going to have to do that. This is a particularly tough day, but I have to do it for King Rail, and I'm going to do it. I don't know how, but I'm gonna. Shout out to you, JC Zimmerman.
I am joining you. I'm joining you. I'm joining young OG23.
Dionysius says, Pete, can we get a birthday picks record? Maybe if I had been tracking, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Maybe if I had been tracking them, it wouldn't have been quite as good. But for a while back, it was like 14-3. Then I had like one loser. Then I had like 6 winners in a row. And then I just stopped tracking it. But yesterday was a winner. 2 days ago was a winner. Then there was that Tony Soprano's birthday where I gave out 2 birthday picks. They were both winners. I don't know what the record is. And maybe one day we'll have an intern who can go back and one of their jobs will be just to track the official birthday picks record. But yeah, it's
I'm
unreal.
with you.
Makes sense. Real.
Too many injuries to guards. Give me the team total under.
All right, you're going to take the team total under. Yeah. That's going to be Miami team total under 109 minus 109. That's
it's not 109.5? Why did I think it was?
No, it's under at Pinnacle right now. Under. Sweet. 109 minus 109.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's keep rolling. Blazers at Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our final game because we've done Clippers, Wizards. And wow, the short card, but we got a lot of college stuff to go over. Let's go Blazers at Knicks. Blazers averaging 114.9 points per game, allowing 107.9. Lillard shot his team out of that 2-game losing streak, dropped 40 on the Wizards. The Blazers, we've talked about it for a couple of years now, how they don't get distribution from Dame. Dame does a lot of great things, but he just doesn't distribute the ball as much as you'd probably want your one to do. They tied a season high with 26 assists last night. Blazers ranked 7th in the NBA at 114.9 points per game, but 27th in assists at 20.7. Knicks have lost 5 straight, 7-8. They're just 2-5 at home. Fizdale continues to change rotations, unable to find one that he likes. I was shocked that he brought Mitchell Robinson in to start the last 2 games over Cantor. Cantor bitched and whined. Robinson only played 9 minutes last game, but did start. Trey Burke, 55 points over the last 2 games, but only 3 assists. Go back to this distribution issue. That's not enough from your point guard. 3 points over 2 games when you're putting up 55. Ntilikina does some nice things at the point, but he doesn't distribute well enough. We know that he defends very well, but he's afraid to shoot out there. Last time he went out and missed a few shots straight, Fizdale pulled him right away, didn't bring him in for the rest of the game. Now he's shaking. He's petrified when he shoots. I like Fizdale as a coach. I don't really like what he's doing here. I don't like what he's doing here at all. And I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about this game. Parlo Marquez, Blazers may think in Bucks game. I don't know exactly what that means, Parlo Marquez. Blazers may think.
Nick Arcuri has been watching Knicks a lot, either Knicks first half or Blazers full game. So Nick Arcuri thinks that the Knicks first half might be a play.
Yes. Yes, and I can understand that. Jansen Bonson leading Duquesne, and BitXN is on Duquesne. Let's talk about that very soon. Portland won by 12 last time at Madison Square. Zolo Age saying Knicks under 220.5. I'm afraid to take unders with the Knicks. It's all about Fizdale's rotation, and he's capable of playing high-octane offensive players like Trey Burke.
BitXN saying, I'm on Duquesne. Yes, I was leaning that way as well, and I was also leaning to the over on that one in the Duquesne Notre Dame game. I could make my birthday pick one of these college basketball plays, but
let's get into it very soon. We're almost there. Blazers, Knicks. No problem. It's all good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
We're almost done this. Blazers, Knicks. Oh, and Paulo Marquez's Bucks in Portland next day. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That will slow down.
No, the reason that I started to go on to college basketball is because I was looking at this game, the Knicks Portland game, and I was about to comment on a few things and say what I thought, but then I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Fuck NBA. I'm just gonna look at college basketball.
I believe in you, and it's okay to start off bad.
NBA.
It's okay to start off bad. You can build back. We have a great group that we work with.
No, I know.
And I believe in you. I believe that you will build back.
I just need to find more time to watch the King's Court show and
I watched it yesterday.
And find out or pray / beg that Dan Kelly will take me under his wing. I would love to have a mentor-mentee relationship with Dan Kelly.
That would help
when it comes to NBA and his spreadsheet.
That would help us all.
Do you think he would be my mentor?
You'd have to ask him?
Yeah, I doubt it. But that's okay. That's
maybe.
Maybe you think so?
Oh, definitely.
He would take me on?
I think it's a
as
possibility.
a project?
Yeah. Brett Hunt, also a monster in NBA. We got a lot of great cappers in
Maybe,
NBA.
you know what I am in NBA handicapping? Maybe I'm one of those 7'4" guys from Romania who has no coordination at all, but teams draft him and take him as a project anyway, as a project.
Sure.
That's what I am. Sure. I trip over my own 2 feet in NBA, but some people see me in... there is some potential there. I'm going to take on this guy as a project.
Dan Kelly has 3 words for you.
Yeah?
Time, Pete. Time.
Time. What does that mean? That's very cryptic.
Yeah.
It's all about time.
Just think on that.
Okay. Wow. Very, very cryptic. Very cryptic.
What is the line on the Blazers right now, full game? It's like 7.5 or something, isn't it? Or am I off?
The Blazers.
Why do I think it's 7.5?
Full game. It's 7.5 or 8. You want me to give you exactly?
No. That's fine. That's a lot of points. Although I think they handle it. But the Knicks are capable of starting out fast. I'm going to stay off the Blazers. Knicks. Why don't we move on? We got lots of college to talk about. Why don't we move on?
All right. So once again, to sum up, Jimmy the Bag gave a whole bunch of NHL futures plays, and he gave Nets plus 3.5, and he went along with me, Miami under team total under 109 minus 109, and I gave that one as an official play as well. All right. So now let's move on to what are we going to do?
I am interested in the Clippers though, so I'm going to spend the afternoon on that a little more. If Jay Money didn't say take the Wizards, put money in your pocket, I'd be on the Clippers.
Right.
Okay, sure. Let's move on.
All right, so let's...
and Reggie says I like the Knicks in this spot. Thank you for letting me know that. Reggie, do you like the Knicks to actually win outright or just to cover? I'd love to know that, Reggie. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so, Ball State and Miami, Ohio, right? Ball State one extra rest day. Ball State beat Western Michigan in their last go-home game, and Miami off of 2 nice underdog wins. Ball State did get way outgained by Western Michigan, but this is a lot of points. I was thinking Miami would be the play here, but I was very surprised to see that many points.
I was shocked to see it.
Yes,
and right away, Bartender B says Ball State covers.
Right.
I have to think that Ball State covers, and I also am interested in the over. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals know they aren't going to a bowl game. Red Hawks have a chance. That is the only explanation for 17.
Yeah, when my initial notes were, Miami might be the play here. I was like maybe -6, -7. I don't know. And then I saw the line. I was like, where did this come from?
I was shocked too. Yeah. Miami could still win the MAC East, but they need a ton of luck. They need to beat Ball State, which is no problem. But then they need an Ohio victory over Akron. They need Buffalo to lose to Bowling Green. Not going to happen. Cardinals have lost 3 games by low scores. Mm-hmm. A pair of 8-point defeats to number 3 Notre Dame, to Northern Illinois. Why would it be such a big spread? Redhawks have won 2 in a row. Now, they look very good against the Huskies. That was very impressive. Mm-hmm. And the Bobcats, they look good. They lost on the road against Army by 1 point. That's very impressive. They lost to the Bulls by just 9. And that was a closer game, really, than sort of the score shows. It was a high-score game, 51-42. Yeah. Plitt has stepped in very nicely.
Sure, yes.
258 yards, 3 touchdowns last week's overtime game against Western Michigan. 81% of his passes? This guy's playing great. Redhawks, now this is the big issue in the games. Redhawks, incredible in the red zone. They take points on 38 of 39 trips. That leads the MAC and is topped only by Navy in the entire FBS. And then Ball State defense ranks 9th in the conference red zone defense. They have allowed opponents to score on 44 of 51 trips, 86.3%, and the vast majority, 70.6% of those, is touchdown. Yai is having Yai is about Clemson hasn't given up a TD this year until they're up by 31 points. Reread the stat until you can process it. That's wild. I didn't know that. That's wild. Big Boss saying still riding the over in the MAC. Onyx, Borea, Ball State moneyline first half. I tell you what I wanted. Oh, Kyler Reynolds at least by 20. What? Miami, Ohio rolls. Wow, at least by 20. See, I want to take Ball State and I want to take the over here. That's what I want to do. Oh, but Wally George says Ball State will run the ball and the total stays under.
Yeah, I was thinking under as well, but again, this is another game where I was leaning under before the lines came out, and then I was hoping that the total would be a little bit higher, like 58. Based on what Ball State did against Western Michigan and Toledo and all their other games, I was surprised to see the total this low because Western Michigan has just gotten gashed offensively, and Miami Ohio's been putting up numbers, and I was looking at this game and I was like, I was hoping for something, maybe even 60. I was hoping for like 58, 58 and a half, and I would have been leaning under in that case, but it came out at 54 and a half. So, I was like, all right. I was thinking Miami, Ohio in the under, but then the market was like way in that direction, and I was surprised by the lines. I didn't know what to make of it, so I didn't pull the trigger.
Bartender be like in the under. Maybe I should take a little bit more time because I was ready to come in here and make these plays. Melee Payless Way saying leaning hard on the under.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And Comic Ricky saying, is Dan Kelly on Twitter? Yes, he is, and I follow him. Interesting. I wanted to make the over a play, and I wanted to make my Ball State a play, and now I have pause. So why don't we move on to the next game?
Wow. Okay, listen to this. Brant Hunt with a Listen Lowbaggers comment. Okay, are you ready for this one? This includes you, Jimmy the Bag. Listen, Lowbaggers, I'm a huge Tar Heel fan, but I know a moneymaker when I see one. Take Duke each and every way the next 3 or 4 games. First half, full game, team total overs. Again, Brant Hunt, Tar Heel fan, but he knows a moneymaker when he sees one. Take Duke each and every way, next 3 or 4 games. First half, full game, team total overs. I love comments like that. Thank you so much, Brant Hunt.
Yeah, I love Brant Hunt.
All right, moving on.
Glenn Kelly asking where Kyle Jack is. Kyle Jack will be around. He'll be around. If he's not on the morning show, he'll be on the late show. Hal Abraham says these MAC games are too hard to figure. I want Ball State in the over. But I'm nervous now after hearing all this.
Yeah, we can look into this more, see where the line moves are, and talk about it in the evening show, Jim.
Okay, let's break down this next game. Northern Illinois at Western Michigan. Again, I'm interested in Michigan and the over. Huskies have already clinched a trip to the MAC championship game. Why wouldn't they play the backups?
Right.
Don't you think they'll play backups in the second half?
Probably in some cases, yes.
And that has to lend itself to the over, doesn't it?
I was thinking over in this one as well. Yes, I was thinking over in this one.
Do they care about losing? I don't think so. Are they going to be looking to get back on track after loss to Miami, Ohio?
Definitely.
So then what? They would care about the first half, not the second half?
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Okay, but does this make sense? So that Northern Illinois then, if they're upset about the Miami, Ohio game, they'll cover the first half, show that they're back in action, bring in the backups, and not care about the second half.
We'd have to do some more in-depth research for that. This is where you want to get quotes and read between the tea leaves. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
It can go both ways.
Last year, Broncos finished 20-17, 6-6, did not make a bowl appearance. Michigan 0-2 after loss to Syracuse, Michigan, then won 6 straight. Then Wasink injured his foot against Toledo. Caleb Ellaby comes in. He hasn't been terrible. DJ Big Boss says, I'm with you, Mac, game over. I'm about to make the over on this a spot here. Caleb Ellaby hasn't been terrible. He's just not making a ton of mistakes. He's allowing the running game to take control. And he's been fine. The problem is he's not mobile at all, whereas Wasink was mobile enough. He's not mobile at all. Broncos want to run the ball. Bellamy, 1,120 yards. Bogan, 639 yards. But, and that's a giant but, Northern Illinois holding opponents to just 20.3 points per game and 4.6 yards a play. But I feel like they're going to play their backups in second half. I really feel that way.
Yeah, that's the big question mark here. You have to know it's almost like a preseason game in NFL.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Leicester's teams dropped 3 straight, lost as we are talking about in the chat, 42-41 overtime at Ball State. Broncos finished 2017 6-6 record. Oh, I just said that, sorry. After 6 consecutive trips to the MAC title game, Illinois went 2 years without a West Division title. They started out 1-3 with losses to Iowa, Utah, Florida. Then they win 6 straight. They've struggled on offense, but they have the MAC's best defense. They're playing really good ball. But last week, I had them first half full game, lost 2 units. Broncos are giving up 6.1 yards a play. Can the Huskies take advantage of that? That's questionable. Huskies have scored 179 points in MAC play, averages 19.8 points per contest. This offense averaging 4.5 yards per play, 11th in the MAC. Broncos are last in the MAC in pass efficiency defense. But can Childers take care of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weakness against weakness here, with the Northern Illinois passing game against the Western Michigan pass defense. The line, I would have been thinking that Western Michigan as a home dog here would be the side with value, but the line's getting bet up. It's already at 7 at Heritage. It's an interesting move in favor of Northern Illinois. I would be leaning Western Michigan here.
I'm leaning Western Michigan here, and I want to take Western Michigan.
Ralph Portuando likes Northern Illinois -5.
What I'm going to do right now is take the over.
Okay.
Please give it to me.
All right, and then we'll move on to college basketball. Let me find the lines here. The over in Northern Illinois, Western Michigan. We can give you 51 -107. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Western Michigan, over 51 -107. You're taking that one, huh?
I am.
All right, and that's it. Now let's move on to college basketball, okay?
Let's do it. Let's start with that early game, Clemson versus Georgia. Is that cool?
Yeah. Let's go
it starts in, 34 minutes. Semifinals of the Grand Cayman tourney. Initially, I wanted to back Georgia. Tigers did not look good. They barely got past Akron. Marquise Reed was in foul trouble, limited him to just 23 minutes. It's great having these great college basketball players, or cappers, in our chat right now. Barry Coleman says, Jimmy, how much do you normally put on a bet? Well, it was 200 until the horrifying year. Well, actually, that's not true. When I came down here, I moved up from 100 to 150 a year ago. And then I got to 200 after a nice October, November, December nice run. I moved up to 200. And then I had a tough year. I had an incredible February. I was up $6,000 at one point in the month of February, and then I had a bad end of February, and then a very bad March, April, May, June, very bad. And then I started cutting it. And now I realize that I don't need to do the same unit on each sport. If college football and college basketball I'm worse at, I'm using half units on college sports and full units on NBA and NHL.
Okay.
Sorry. Just had that.
So let's
go back to Clemson, Georgia. Excuse me, my fault.
Go ahead.
So Georgia 3-1. They took down Illinois State Redbirds 80-68 in that quarterfinal game of this tournament. Their only loss was at Temple. Their starters have size. Fagan 6'3", Jackson 6'4", that's the 1 and the 2. Obidi at 6'9", 250 pounds. Hammonds 6'8", 235, and Claxton 6'11", 220. And we know they're playing against a Clemson team that doesn't have a lot of height. Thomas and Skara are their size at 6'9", 6'8", respectively. And they don't have weight, except for Thomas. Thomas is a big boy. It's the guard spots that Georgia's vulnerable. When I started capping the guard spots, I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do this. Another thing is, we know that Clemson likes to slow down the pace, and Georgia's running a much faster tempo this year. I know it's only, I guess right now, 105th in adjusted tempo, 120th in adjusted offensive efficiency, but that's very fast compared to what Clemson likes to play. This is an interesting spot. At first, Trenton Claxton's on Clemson at the half and over, or Clemson half over, and Florida Gulf Coast half over. I wanted to take Georgia here. Mark Lathrop, huge lean Georgia. Pink Eye Genie, Georgia plus the point seems to play. Barry Cohen, Georgia plus 6.
Yeah, I was leaning Georgia and the under on this one based on what I saw.
But we shouldn't. I don't think, and Nick Curry saying, I like Georgia. Clemson barely beat Akron. I don't want that to get in our way too much. I kind of want to take that a bit with a grain of salt. They felt like it was going to be, there was definitely a look ahead spot. They weren't playing hard enough. And then Marquise Reed gets in foul trouble immediately. Hal Abraham says Georgia's well coached. Tom Crean, very high paced. Clemson has more experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a decent amount of points to be giving to a team in this spot on a neutral site. So.
I agree, and they're just much bigger. Obidi's a beast. Why does everyone like Georgia? Brant Hunt, you're right. Clemson has a huge advantage of the guard spot. Ron Lofton liking under 144.5. I like the under 2. And then I was breaking down this game, and I was looking at other people's predictions. Almost everybody across the board was on the over. And some people had 10 points over the line.
Really?
Because I was leaning under, not one. I only looked at 3 predictions, and 3 of the predictions were all over. Brant Hunt, Clemson's a bunch of scrubs. Clemson's a great basketball team. Mark Lathrop saying they put 100 on Citadel. But that's Citadel. But Mark Lathrop knows Citadel well. Remember, he took Citadel minus 51.5 against Johnson University. Shout out to Lathrop. Love having Lathrop with us.
Yeah, I'm looking at the games that I looked at. I'll tell you what I took on the overnight lines for what it's worth. I took Duquesne and Notre Dame over 140.5 at plus 500 at over 140.5, and I think that line has moved in my favor. I took Wright State plus 7, and I took the Wright State Penn State game over 141.5. I think that one's down to 6, but I also think it dropped to a 141. And I took Wisconsin Green Bay against Oregon 152. Oregon, of course, has awesome interior defense. Green Bay is a 3-point shooting team, so when they're cold, they're going to get blown out and the games go under. When they're hitting those threes, they can put up points in a hurry. But I think that Oregon is an impressive defensive team right now. So I took the under on that one, under 152. I took Wright State plus 7 and the over in that game at 141.5. And I took the Duquesne Notre Dame game over 140.5. And I did take a small shot with Duquesne at plus 9 as well. Those are the plays that I took on the morning on the overnight lines.
Pete, in 1 hour and 3 minutes, and I'm going to watch that back. Sorry, I was looking at other things, but in an hour and 3 minutes at Pinnacle, this total's gone up 3 points.
Which one?
Georgia, Clemson.
Ah, really? Okay.
In 1 hour and 3 minutes, it's gone from 141 minus 110 to 144 minus 150.
Okay, I mean as we've talked about many times, it doesn't take a lot of money or a lot of strong opinions to move, especially a total in college basketball. I mean, it's someone who thinks they know what they're talking about and someone who Pinnacle respects. Of course, someone who Pinnacle respects made a couple max bets and drove it up 3 points. But that happens all the time in college basketball. It's noteworthy for sure.
Because when I was talking about everybody on the over, one of them was just by 1 point, and that was at 140.5, or even 140, I believe. Wow.
DJ Big Boss says Georgia has the better bench. Georgia might be the play here.
What would I get on Georgia?
Plus 6 still, I believe. I'm just checking all these comments
and
here.
Mr. Gokster's on the under.
Yeah.
I want this to keep getting bet up, because then I will take the under.
Okay.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Georgia, I'd get plus 6 right now?
Yes. Wow, Kobe Valentine says, I think Georgia wins straight up. Georgia's a great rebounding team. Clemson D looks suspect.
Brent Hunt says, yeah, I wouldn't take the under, Jimmy. Okay, I think I'm going to take Georgia here, but I'd love to hear what Max has to say. So why don't we keep rolling through a few other games right now, and this is tough. Kobe, just looking at some things that I copied and pasted. Kobe saying, love Bradley in San Diego. Strong leans on Notre Dame, Cornell, because UConn's got injuries. And Cornell, I believe, 15-point dogs or something. And Washington.
May last bit. Gassy Nate says, you cut Jim off a lot. I know I do that a little bit more. I apologize for that, Jim.
I do to you all the
that's
time.
Fine. That's okay.
We're
it's
just
because
working together.
that's what happens in chaos. You know what I'm saying? There's cuts off all the time. And yes, but even though I do it a lot, I'm going to apologize, and I'm going to try to do it a lot less. Thank you, Nasty Nate. Melas Payless Way liking Xavier, and Paco Healy also liking Xavier. Brian Watson liking Xavier. Bartender B liking Xavier. Everyone liking Xavier.
But look at Max. Clemson minus 5, their Sweet 16 team.
Wow, okay.
I'm just not going to... I know I'm not going to hit 54% going up against Max. And I also thought that this last game against Akron was going to skew the way people looked at Clemson. Wow. And Bill Butlicker giving us the goods. J.R. Smith cut.
Wow.
That's good.
Okay.
Nice to see Ish Kurt joining us. MS420 says, Max says, I think they had trouble because Akron hit the threes a lot. I don't think they'll have the same issue with Georgia. Bartender B says, take Georgia. Okay, I would love to talk, and then we can talk about whatever games you want to talk about. There's a couple games I want to talk about. One's Stanford at Ohio State. I want to talk Stanford at Ohio State, Auburn, Duke, but I'm down to talk about any games that you guys want to talk about. Bart Nelson saying, anyone like Stanford? I was curious to hear what you thought about this spread. Number 23, Ohio State, looking to go 5-0. Just beat South Carolina State 89-61 at home. Caleb Wesson, we know he's an absolute beast. 17 of 18 in the first half, then set out most of the second half. They were 43-21 at intermission. We know this Ohio State's a very good team. They're getting a ton of contributions from Dwayne Washington, from Luther Muhammad, from Jaden Ledee. Max says, I love Stanford first half and full game. Ooh, that's what I wanted to hear.
Shout out to Maxwell Smart. Shout out to Maxwell Smart. Thank you so much for being in the comment section, giving us your opinions.
Max, is it because of Ruben Guerrero? Because they got this 7-footer from Spain, right? He's a transfer from South Florida, leads Stanford at 17 points and rebounding 8.8 per game. I know that Caleb Wesson is just a junkyard dog. He's a big boy, big shoulders, and he can put his shoulder into Ruben Guerrero's chest. But is Ruben Guerrero a huge difference maker in this game? They have Brandon Austin. He just put up a career-high 21 points. Now, the issue with this Stanford team is, they're undefeated, but North Alabama, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Miles College, and Cleveland State. Miles College? Need Lathrop to give me a breakdown on Miles College. Oh, it feels like this is just a little too many points. Bartender B says, love Stanford. Cover the chalk all day. Ooh. Okay, so do you mind if you have a second? Could you let me know what Stanford is first half and full game?
The first half and full game. Yeah. Last night I saw 23. Let's see if that one has moved.
Kylie Reynolds liking Stanford too.
Yep, now it's down to 22.5. And I was maybe thinking about a shot with the over on that one, but that was just a thought.
Well, I think, and tell me what you think of this. Yeah. I think if I'm gonna make a bet here, I would prefer Stanford full game in case Ohio State does wreck shop like they're capable of doing first half, rest their players second half. And we just saw them do that to South Carolina State. So as much as I would like to double up here, I think the smart thing to do is take them for just full game. What do you think about that?
On which one?
Stanford, Ohio State.
Yeah, probably. I mean that can go both ways. You have to check the depth chart and the rotation chart. Like there's teams like Holy Cross that have a strong starting five that can keep up with elite teams for a half, but then they fade in the second half. That was something I pointed out earlier in the season. So I'd have to look deeper into that one.
Wow, Max saying I'm a big Brandon Austin believer. I think he brings the intangibles that help cover spreads like tonight. So, and what's the first half spread?
On what?
On the Stanford Ohio State game?
It's probably, you want me to check it? It's probably like 11.5, 12. Let me see. All right, let's see. The first half
I think spread. It might be higher than that. Like 13?
No. Oh, shit. That's totals. All right, hold on one second. God, it's so unwieldy.
We know that Ohio State's so strong first half. I think it might be a little bit higher than that. I'm hoping.
Let's see. Let's see what it is. Let me just find it. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Look at that. Well, 13. Not 12.5. We give you 12.5 at you wager.
But no 13s.
12.5, 13, and 13.5. It's a split line here.
Wow, so I could get plus 13.5 for Stanford first half.
12.5, 13, and 13.5. They're all widely available right now.
Woo! God, that's exciting. Okay, I'm going to take Stanford first half and full game.
Okay, so Jim's going to take Stanford first half plus 13.5 minus 110. That is widely available. 13.5 minus 110. And the full game, I think we saw 22.5, and he's going to take Stanford full game plus 22.5. I will find the best line right now. Stanford plus 22.5. Okay, let's see. Where is it?
Wow, Brian Watson and a bunch of guys letting us know Patrice Bergeron out for a long time for the Bruins. He's a spectacular player. Going to be a big loss for them. Big loss. And Krejci, we know he's a hurt bag too.
All right, so 22.5 minus 108 is the pinnacle line right now. We can give you that one.
Thank you very much. And then let's just talk about the Auburn-Duke game, and then any games you want to talk. And I was really kind of studying and looking at a couple of things. Do you mind going over your college basketball picks before the end of the show one more time?
My picks? Yeah, I didn't make any picks yet. I'm just telling you what I bet. Okay. I bet the over in Notre Dame Duquesne at 140.5, and that one is now up to 140. I took a small shot with Duquesne plus 9. I took small shots with Wright State at plus 7, and the Wright State game over 141.5. That line has now dropped to 139 or something like that. But Wright State, I believe, is now plus 6. That's what I saw recently. And then I took a shot with Wisconsin, Green Bay, Oregon under 152. That's now dropped to 151. So I beat a couple line moves. Was on the wrong end of the line move to the under in Wright State, Penn State, and that's about it. You know, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if I had to give Duquesne Notre Dame as the birthday pick over, even at 142. You know, Duquesne is tinkering with their lineup, so they're mixing and matching. So you know, it's a relatively modest total, and you know, I would still lean over even at 142.
Mark Lathrop saying Stanford let Miles College shoot 53.8% from three-point range. And Miles College just lost to Delta College. Yais wanting to talk about UC Irvine. I just want to quickly, just while we have everybody here working together, talk about Auburn versus Duke. Is there anybody here who thinks Auburn has a chance against Duke to cover double digits? Does anybody think that Auburn can play? Because Duke, I know they have so much size and depth. Can Okeke and Wiley bang with these guys? The key here is Harper and Brown. This will be the best backcourt that Duke has played against so far this year. Does Auburn have any chance?
I don't know. Bulgogi likes Duke, and of course, Brant Hunt tells us next 3 or 4 games, take Duke every which way. I didn't look into this one, didn't have an overnight line. And
Max
so
says no chance. Ishkurt says no. Arcuri says no. Nick Arcuri says Duke big time. Jansen Bonson says yes in the first minute.
All right, so it's a split line here. 10, 10.5, and 11 are all widely available.
I'm not going to take it.
You're going to pass on it?
Brant Hunt says, of course, Auburn's a good team, Jimmy. There's a chance. I'm not going to do it here. I'm just not. Yeah, Kylie Reynolds says, stay away, Jimmy. Better games to bet. I'm not. I guess I have a bias. Maybe I'll get over it in the afternoon. But I like Auburn quite a bit. They were very good to us last year. And
all right, I'll put on Wright State as an official pick here. +6, -110. I bet it at +7, so I beat that line move, and I'll take them at the current line officially. +6, -110. I also bet the over.
You just took Wright State?
Yeah. Okay. I also bet the over on that one at 141.5, I think, and that line has moved against me. But I did also bet the over in the Duquesne game, and that one has moved in my favor. And I also bet the under in the Oregon game. That was moved slightly in my favor. So that's nice to see. I'm adding on Wright State +6, -110.
Red Girls on Duke first half, solo over 43.5.
Okay.
Chris Tansbury says Duke +20. Baseball Bob's joining us. Follow Baseball Bob on Twitter. I follow him on Twitter. He's been absolutely destroying on that fade of teams leaving Las Vegas in the NHL. He's been fading them each and every time. He posts them on Twitter, and he's been scoring every single time.
Very nice.
He's a great follow. I love the guy. Follow him as well. You will get paid if you follow him. Jansen Bonson says take Nebraska. Oh, BitXN says Georgia moneyline and Duquesne +9. I hear a lot of people liking Duquesne.
Yeah, I took Duquesne, small, Eddie Oil says, Pete, do you think Penn State is not very good? No, it's more that I'm kind of high on Wright State. I know they had one dud this year, but I'm kind of high on Wright State, and I think in a situation like this, neutral spot, they are, maybe shouldn't be getting this many points. So it's more that I'm vaguely looking for spots to play on Wright State than to fade Penn State. Everyone loving Duke. Bartender B, I love Duke to win by 15+. Zach Sloblom says Duke by 15.
Eddie Euler letting us know that Sid the Kid back on the ice today. Don't take for granted that we get to watch him play every day. We are very fortunate to watch Sid the Kid play. Don't take it for granted.
Farshad Hassami, Duke all the way. Brant Hunt, Duke first half full game team total over should be safe bet. King Rail says Duke is the real deal. And Pink Eye Genie, Duke looking for a challenge. Zion's out for blood. Duke all the way, rest of the year. Wow. People loving Duke.
And what did Yais wanted us to break down what game? The UC Irvine game?
I don't know, but we're running a little bit over, so we don't have time for that, Jim.
I will take a look at that game for the afternoon. That's not an afternoon game, is it? I think I have to look. I don't
know, but we will be back, and in the evening show, we will talk about the college basketball games that start at 7 o'clock and later, and go over the NBA line moves, and maybe Jim will drop a play on San Jose. Well, I'm sorry, on Edmonton is what you're looking at.
No, I'm taking the Sharks. I'm taking the Sharks.
He's thinking that the line will get bet down.
I think that I'm going to get a slightly better line because I think some big bets will come in on Edmonton.
Okay, and on that note, let's wrap it up. We got to wrap it up,
Just before we do, can I just say Max is on Navy, Eastern Tennessee State. That's ETSU, right? North Texas, and the Raging Cajuns.
Wow.
I copied and pasted that. Udon pouring Ratanap Facties on Santa Clara +17.
Wow.
Bartender B also on Duquesne. I'm going to take a close look at that.
Yeah.
And then Nick Curry saying anything on the Clemson game real quick. No, I got talked off of it. I know I like Georgia inside, but I think that Akron game against Clemson is going to skew the way we see Clemson. And I agree with Max that they're a Sweet 16 team. They're a great, great basketball team. So I'm going to stay off of it.
Okay, I have copied and pasted. Jim Rome's a deuce says, Pete, share your drugs. Is he implying that he doesn't like my pick on Wright State, or is he saying that I'm acting weird? Which one? What do you think? What do you think is the? I'm very self-critical. I'm very careful about what people think. Jim Rome's a douche. Pete,
I think Jim Rome's the douche. He watches this show all the time. He knows how to get in your head.
Yeah, he does.
It's that hot meth pipe.
Yeah,
it's that hot meth pipe.
I'm going to assume he's just talking about my play on Wright State and just leave it at that.
Oh, Mr. Gokes are wondering if there's a second half play on the Jackson
I'm not on my game right now. You want me to check it? Let's see what the score is. Let's just quickly check and see what the score is here in the Jacksonville State game. Let's see what it is. Let me just quickly check. Is there a surprising result here?
Brent Hunt says you just look like you have good drugs, Pete.
Okay, I guess that's, once again, I'll take it as a compliment. Although that can't be good for my career, right? That cannot be good for my career.
Sorry. I was laughing. I hit a button. No, I don't think that'll help the career.
No. Fuck. No, I need my career. To be okay. All right, let's see. What do we have here? What's the line? Wow, Western Carolina +4 and 76.5. Let me just, do you think people want me to quickly check?
I do think people want me to
because I gave a loser a shitty play in the second half earlier today. But
you
overall,
got the
I've been doing
nickname
well.
Toshak for a reason.
Yeah.
And I call you Lodels for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's not because he busts loads all over the place. It's because of these types of second half plays.
Yeah.
And the load.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me just pull up the notes here. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah. Oh, man, that's a tough line set here. Yeah. No play. I wouldn't play this one. I'm not going to play it. No second half play on that one.
No second half, but maybe we'll get some second half throughout the day.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Sweet. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Low Bag family and all the great insights. All you guys sticking around to give us insights on NCAA football, NBA, NHL. We can't do this without you guys, and it means the world that you join us. You want to put a bow on this bad boy?
Yeah. We'll see you at 6 o'clock Eastern time.